Okay, here we are. I'm very excited to be reacting to this album. Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, Little Simz. I know this came out a little while ago, but I definitely have not been able to listen to a lot of new releases as much in comparison to before when I started this reaction channel. But I do think it's quite interesting that there's many new releases from 2021 that I don't know if I would have listened to. So this has become strongly a part of my listening habits in many ways. But I do like to bring in new albums, new releases, things that at least being able to share my views with them to you, in being able to listen to something that I've had on my watch list, or not watch list, but listen list for a long time. Because there's lots of albums from 2021 that I want to listen to, but this one apparently is like really good. And I've listened to Little Simz before. Gray Area. I love Gray Area. I think I love it more now than initially. I was big on it from that get-go. I actually did listen to Stillness in Wonderland, but I don't think I felt many ways about it. This is the thing. When I was really young, like 15, 16 years old, like with my like OCD and whatnot, like I made sure I listened to like many new releases of things. Like I would look on Metacritic every week and I'd see all the new releases and I would try to listen to every single one. So I listened to a lot of shit. I listened to a lot of shit and a lot of stuff that I just didn't really listen to anymore. I mainly use Rate Your Music now, I'd say. But yeah, I only listened to it once. I remember listening to it around Christmas. I think I may have listened to it on Christmas Day, actually. But I don't remember how I feel about it, so I'll have to come back to it at some point. But I'm very excited about this project. I think I've listened to Introvert and Woman. I think I heard 15 seconds of I Love You, I Hate You, and I was like, I think I want to react to this. So then I stopped it. But we have some interludes, whatnot, but I'm interested. Lyrically especially too, in the sense that we got a lot of good lyrics, I think, in Gray Area. But one thing that's different from these two albums is that that was a really quick punch of an album, like pacing wise, like it was really compactful. I know that there's like orchestration on this project as well, so I think it's gonna lead to some new territory. Let's do this. This feels like in an action movie, the cars are coming out under the bridge.
I see sinners in a church, I see sinners in a church. Sometimes I might be introvert, there's a war inside, I hear battle cries. I study humans, that makes me an anthropologist. I'm not into politics, but I know it's dark times. Parts of the world still living in apartheid.
Symbols there.
I hate the thought of just being a burden. I hate that these conversations are surface. Sim's an artist or Sim be the person. To you I'm smiling but really I'm hurting. At night I wonder if my tears will dry on their own. Hoping I will fulfill Amy's purpose. Angel said don't let ego be a disturbance. In the demon said motherfucker you earned this. How they talking almost threatening the economy, knocking down communities to re-up on properties.
There we go, don't give a shit about the poor. Very on.
Just don't just see what you want to see.
Now there's modulation at the end of this. This song's got a lot of good, like, many catchy moments, you know what I mean? I'm so glad I reacted to this though, because I just feel like the instantness of how good this is gonna be. I really feel it.
The top of the mountain is nothing without the climb.
Nothing without the climb. That's another very important line. Okay, there's a lot of things said. It's hard to wrap this in a full narrative by the end of this. So, the last line too of What It Takes to Be a Woman realistically, I'm not going to understand that. But it's really important too to finish that, because it's saying not only is like this whole journey attached to everything else, but this is my like final, this is how I'm viewed by other people at least. And even though I have all these other problems, that still becomes like a signifier to other people. So it becomes more difficult. Wow. Okay. Being a woman is a visible, or can be on most occasions, a visible minority. I love this song. I'm trying to figure out like, or read through lyrics and stuff like that, because I feel like it takes you through like a lot of things. Like in a sense, there's many different layers of society that are trying to be like pushed into right now. Let's talk about, what's this one line that I really liked? Yeah, there's a prison in us, we are conditioned as fuck. I thought that was a really good line, especially when talking about there's a fighting back in her head already, right? Don't let your ego be a disturbance. But at the same time, there's a realization of you deserve something. You know what I mean? That constant, where will you be happy in? You know what I mean? What's this level of success you want if you're always potentially maybe feeling guilty for it? Cool. Okay, let's just go to the next song. This is dope. I remember driving to this song. The day I listened to this song in the car, I bought A&W. That's what I did.
Men got the melanin dripping, L-O-N-D-O-N-C.
L-O-N-D-O-N.
In the back, looking like fire, chili pepper. You're a bad girl, tougher than imperial leather. Miss Tanzania, she a do or die. Said she wanna know more about the Sukuma tribe. We hit the zoo, once wasn't enough. Got an ocean full of knowledge, you could scuba dive.
Scuba dive.
With her chest, got respect from her people cause she leaves them the best. Real life queen in the flesh, know the crown get heavy, still the beans in your head. 0 to 100,
so I am understanding this of the who's talking down on you is because they're in a way jealous. They're trying to put you down. Like, patriarchal society, right?
Ain't nothing without a woman, no. Woman to woman, I just wanna see you glow, glow, glow.
Okay, Woman, Cleo Sol, featuring on here. Great track. I think it's interesting to have Introvert and this song be together. I think the other song worries more about like breaking into an experience of an album, right? Really working on that string work. String work is very nice on this one, especially because I feel like you focus on it being with the drums more. Lyrically on this one, I think this one's really strongly on that woman empowerment. Fair enough too, last line being about tales of being a woman. And what I was really getting from this too is the fact that like you have to kind of realize that you're always been up here. If there's any like moment where you're under here, it's because of people saying that to you, right? And those people don't speak for you. Weird softness to the drums, which is interesting with a parallel with the guitar.
Patience. London born and stay girl to international sensation.
Okay.
Cutting through your settings, do not need an invitation. You made her your everything, but she was just a groupie. I got higher standards, don't waste time trying to pursue me. You betrayed intellect for an artificial booty. Covered with silver linings, it took time just to learn about timing. I got lost in it, you got lost in it. You clocked out me while I stayed bossing it. What it cost to be this damn hot with it. Who knew love would be so damn toxic? I'm intoxicated, exhilarated. Finally moved on, how devastated for you.
I think what's interesting about Two Worlds Apart, first off, 2 songs working on orchestration a little bit more. Also longer tracks, this one's 3 minutes longer. Feel like the flow is very repetitive, like very focused on that flow. But I think it's very interesting how it's produced or mixed in with that soul sample that comes off of it, and how it ends out with the singing too, near the final third of this. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I'll be excited to already come back to this. Huh. Okay.
Blood, tears, how it stains, can't rid it with ease. What we have in common is our pain. We're given the keys to unlock what it takes to fight for. Will the pressure take me to new heights or be my demise? Will my intentions coincide with what I advise? The people looking up to me doing everything right, but who am I to tell anyone how to live their life? Sometimes
piano's really up here too, which is very interesting.
But right now, too much unsaid, now the silence giving me headaches. Only for speech can we let go of all this dead weight. Even though I'm angry, don't wanna be disrespectful. Trying to figure out how to approach this in the best way. I wish that be faced with this reality that you a sperm donor or adapt to me and still.
Okay, I love you, I hate you. Okay, fair enough. I know one side of that, but stuff.
How do you humanize your hero? Grounded, you're only respected as earned. Half-hearted stories can't let your guard down. To get to Nirvana, where do you start out? Angry cause they don't meet your unrealistic standards. Forget, looking at Polaroids, a picture secretly kept. You know what was destroyed, but you don't know what was left. Trying to phase out the noise of all you hear in your head. Choose to avoid, will probably come in your dreams. I'm not forgiven for you, man, I'm forgiven for me. And sometimes,
pause, those drums. Damn, you really get caught up in what she's saying. I think like you feel like invested in the story a little bit more, and that beat and everything carries that. I think that's really good. But yeah, obviously talking about issues with the father here. The sometimes I love you, sometimes I hate you. I think what's interesting about this naturally is there's still like the complete avoidance of like things actually being good or like actually being true, but like no matter what you're having some sort of like disconnect from that, but you are trying to say naturally that this isn't just venting, like there is a decision being made here, you know what I mean? Like this isn't just venting, you've made a decision, and regardless of how like difficult that situation is, you're doing it for like the greater good in a way, not just for people, but you know, for yourself. Okay, yeah, love this track. Let's go to the next song. It's an interlude.
And it seemed like I only come when I need something. It ain't been an easy road, and I ain't angry the card you dealt me. I just pray that you make it all make sense one day, and let me feel like it's all worth it. And forgive me for my iniquities.
Forgive me for my iniquities.
Forgive me for my iniquities. Q.
I think the one thing that's interesting about the forgive me for my inequities is, what's your definition of inequities, and why do you want to be defined by them? You know what I mean? Or why do you think you need to be forgived by them is really what I'm saying here. Why are they bad? But the thing is, to think that you have to be asking forgiveness just shows, and again, I think this is going back to the other song where people are conditioned. So in this interlude, someone's conditioned to already be thinking this way when they should not be thinking this way. But again, there is something here that's important, even with the praying that it'll make sense one day. So all this confusion, especially in this social/cultural world, what is it actually? Will this ever mean something, or will I die and all this still be just fucking nonsense, just nuts? So this is quite an impactful interlude.
I dreamed of many things as a young, and I was 14 when the streets offered tough loving. Older brother went to jail, daddy went around. No choice now but to be the man of the house. Not the mental scars, the physical's all you see. But the boy that stabbed me is just as damaged as me. I could have been the reflection that he hated, the part of him he wishes God didn't waste time creating. The time is an illusion, my mind told me I'm invincible, but my body reminded me I'm
Again with that ego
when we're so close to their heavens, God shows you who's there. Nowhere to be seen are the people who say they care. We eat from a tree full of forbidden fruit. Not about what you see, but what lives in the root. Criminals live in the suit.
Well, the instrumentation on this is very impressive. Piano kind of comes in really loud over it, very light, but perseverance in a way that feels very, very personal. Like you feel that perseverance. Lots of decisions that you had really no choice to be making. Again, already knowing that this song or this album, like sometimes it might be an introvert, you're not really discussing your problems. Or, you know, music, at least for real, is your outlet, you know what I mean? But in a group of people, like just, you know, drowning internally is the lyric that really strikes out for me. Lots of problems you're not resolving. You're not sure which way to go. You know, in a way, it's like almost like your self-doubt, maybe, and who you can tell your worries to, in a way. Yeah, this is excellent. I really like the vibe it consistently keeps me in, too. I'm excited to come back to this already. I'm only on track 6, okay. There's a lot of like positive affirmations for herself in many ways that she's saying. She knows she deserves better than how she treats herself. I like this. Like an intuitive, follow what you know.
Take your time. Inhale, exhale. 1 foot out of line and you'll be ridiculed.
I'm trying to live up to the expectations, putting everything I can into what I create.
Your light will shine in the darkest hour. Pressure makes diamonds.
The strings are beautiful.
Do not fold. They won't silence you, but they'll try to.
It's like Sufjan-esque, but with that bass. Could you imagine if Sufjan had a rap song? I'd fucking wait for the day. Okay, Gems. I actually really like this song. I think at the end when it finishes off or like lets the instrumentation play for a little bit, like this is the song that really makes me feel like an environment that's surrounding it. And that's kind of cool that it can give me so much, right? Because sometimes interludes aren't that engaging compared to other things on the album. But I think this is really deep too. Like I think this, like I'm really feeling that message. Again, like I said, she's saying it to herself. She's trying to like really push herself for success in a way because, and how you do that is saying that it's the only option. But the one line that I thought was really good was the rock in a hard place. Just in the sense that, yeah, no matter what, it's almost like being human on most occasions. You're always in the middle place. You are always in the middle place. You always talk about this opportunity, realistically, that things will be better. Just think about it, how many artists, too, like musicians I think too, how many of them talk about this place where you've reached a final conclusion? There's always, for some reason, some internal struggle is going to be occurring. It may be a different internal struggle, but it's still going to be there. You know what I mean? Like being human is limbo. I don't know. We're not getting there. We're not going to go that deep. But I like this.
Niggas wanna put me in a box. Niggas think they coming from a spot. Niggas know I got the shit on lock. Niggas think they coming from a spot. Don't you know you're dealing with a boss? I make winners out of any
be in the next Mario Kart. I honestly swear. I love this beat. I like that synth feels really on this right channel, but there's like a drum that's overtaking on top of it.
Is what led me to wait, marathon not sprint, nigga. You can tell I'm really going at it. You know when I drop it's problematic. Keep it on the move, I'm never static. I'll go in the booth and show you magic.
Different instrumentals, sort of. There's like a lower one. Oh. I love this cockiness here. I love it. What? This is a very interesting fucking album. Wow. Yo, to decide to have the strings like that at the end, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow, I'm enjoying this experience. I haven't not experienced a rap album such as this. I most definitely have not. You know that when there's like an album where every song feels like it fits that vibe, but every song is making you feel different? Like, that is a good sign. That's a good sign. Let's go to Standing Ovation.
Rapping about pieces, people are really dying, is that what's needed? I can't save your soul, you need Jesus. Give me what I deserve and do not speak on the rest. Don't know what has occurred and do not aimlessly guess. It's a gift and a curse to be this pretty and blessed. Shit been dark for a minute time. Delirious, it's hard to function on this winter's time. Mouths to feed, my nigga. It's where the love stays. Telling with society's precious is one thing, let alone all of the problems I can't
fun's
bring.
great, fair enough.
Went from being small town to becoming my own entity. Went from being broke as fuck and trying to find identity to buying and finding things and isolating memories. What is it I'm meant to be? Seeing nothing, the glow up, all they discussing, but I won't let it distract me. Let the pen up, pocket back and get to busting. Standing up to the room, I make the scene lie down. Get it high, live it how it beats right now. The jazz players, holistic doctors, spiritual teachers, doers and the doulas, the protectors and the rulers, the kids of the future.
I love this. Different beat, different like smoother beat, which I think plays interestingly with speed, because thematically there is that still like I am like the shit, like you bow down to me just softly, you know, in a playful rap way, right? But speed is a little bit harder with that. Standing Ovation is a lot more of that laid back chillness, like I know what I am. Yeah, I'm having fun with this. Pretty good vibes.
What shit I haven't dealt with, would you help me through my pain? If it's any reassurance, just know I would do the same. Looking at you, I know that God took his time. Hope I'm seeing the real you, not a disguise.
Not a disguise.
No, I like my time alone, but still don't wanna be lonely. You say
it's kind of like got a D'Angelo vibes, like sort of.
Never wake up. Something so special, we can let it go.
You know where you come from, you ain't forgotten. It's an honor to witness and watch you blossom. You want words of affirmation and I got them for you. No situation is perfect, but giving up without trying is what we're not gonna do. Beauty in all its facets, kids to see us going forwards and never backwards. Anyone that's in our presence sees the clear attraction. There's a certain flex that comes with feeling exhilarated. Ain't it just the best owning it?
Quiet to be with that bass.
Never wake up.
I really like this chorus though. This is gonna be a good one. I'm definitely gonna be singing this.
You saved my life. I'm hoping that I never wake up.
Damn, eh? Hey, love just can't be simple. It's just, it's a certain reality. Love the jangling on this too.
Sit. Would you like a cup of tea? There you go. Now, we'll be a full house today. A question, if I may. What's a girl like you want in a place like this? Better yet, what's the price that's worth your freedom?
There was some conversation occurring.
Food for thought, dear. Take it as you wish. The bravest of hearts can sometimes be the
But it seems like it's someone who's a little bit potentially up their own ass. Yeah, okay, Rapper That Came to Tea. This is quite an excellent interlude as well. I feel like with this one still working on that string nature, but I think with how loud it is or how well it works with these vocals or like this like spoken word aspect, very cinematic. Like it is, like when I'm sitting here, wow. I feel the visualness of this, I really do. Okay, next song. This is a decently lengthy project, which I think is quite interesting. Like I already said with Gray Area, being such a short project, this is a different experience. I like when an artist can give a different experience. You know what I mean? Just even with pacing, with track listing, there's definitely a lot of different feelings.
I was in Sao Paulo eating palm heart and I couldn't believe my surroundings. True, I got the ends of me listening to Heady getting gassed in the mountains. Fuck your blunt, man, I want my spliffs. Want my farm and I want my chips. Want my suit tailored by Gucci. First class sociable, yeah, for the sushi. I can't vouch for a man that ain't got a talent and business combo.
Wow, these beats are really hard.
Flow on archery, don't get hit with the crossbow. Still, there's things I'm faced with. Storms ain't lying, man, it's fools audacious. Might demonstrate frustration, trying to keep cool, but I'm losing patience. Handle business, papa.
Imagine this transition live though.
Fucking up the stone, let's say it's pizza. You can't get in Italy. Fashion week, can't shut down Milan down to Rome. Looking like you got you fearing. I'm probably the reason why your boss is had to resign. Niggas follow my step, read about me like I'm Eli.
Okay, this is one of the best songs now. Holy shit. This is hard.
You wanna know what's underneath?
Everything becomes important when a song's given to you, I think, most definitely.
Yeah, range black just to match the color of my skin. Well, fuck that bitch right now, you didn't know she had a twin. Yeah, up in my zone, moving low key in Berlin.
Oh, I like that Berlin, how that was said. Okay, this is a switch up. This is a switch up.
That's why I love being alone. Don't call me. I don't wanna speak. I got problems, but I'm not fucking weak. Heart is like a stone. Don't take too much in me. Hate to be controlled. Think of what you say to me. 'Cause I'd rather be alone, my only. Once I get for me, sorry. Rather be lonely, my only. Once I get for me, sorry. That's why
I can't stop moving for this one. This one's really...
on my own.
It's good to have such an upbeat song. Put the track listing at this point too.
Never make promises, nothing they promise now. Oh, when we fight, we fall. Never make promises, nothing they promise now. Oh, when we fight,
Much different of an interlude. This is a little bit more twisted in a way. It seems like it's like a distorted thing in an apocalypse like grocery store. I think there is a darkness to it, but it's a comedic darkness though. I think there is a self-awareness here of where it's coming from.
I do what I want, I do what I like, I know what face, I know fear nobody. I do what is mine, you can't stop me, hey!
Family no go so far, oh, in my lifetime. They be fine, doing proper, no lie, give me strength, let me prosper. Daddy say you want me.
You can't stop me, oh, you can't stop me. Point and kill.
Point and kill. Okay, the lyrics got really more forward here.
Point and kill.
For now, bring the narrow, come give me. Can't stop greatness, what's the point in trying hard not to recognize it for the pressure we apply? Tell my people rise up, can never be silenced.
Point and kill. Point and kill.
I like the grooviness of this one for sure, because there's a lot of repetition in the lyrics, like this hook, but the hook is like really longer. There's lots of things happening in the instrumentation. Like there is this like, yeah. Yeah, okay. This is fucking fire. I really enjoyed that song.
Rose petal, mommy rose to be rose gold. I just demonstrate greatness they cannot show. Heard they want my power, I ain't never stressed though. Cause to your career that would be detrimental. Come on.
Bass on this side, very interesting.
Get the help around me, yeah, I'm playing. True, I've been a bad breed, and my dad see it. Eyes low, mad lean, blame it on the green.
Really heavy on the shaker. There's no other song on this album that's really heavy on the shaker.
You can't relate cause it's something them G's do. Cut through and bobbing or weaving. No one likes a pussy, don't be in your feelings. 10 o'clock on the door. Pull up in the news, something from the floor.
A lot of, I like the length of this exit of this too. Very interesting. I've not heard an album like this, and I'm really enjoying the structure of it all. Like, I have not felt like a song has sounded the same, but I have felt like multiple, like, the track listing feels good. It keeps me in a, this is good.
Patience is a virtue. Trust your intuition, but get out of your head. Masking your emotions.
I like that it's just this over this figure of someone, right? Who has all the information. It's always nice information. Wow.
How did you get? How did you get? How did you get?
Okay.
How the hell did I get here? Sometimes I sit and I wonder. I'm the version of me I always imagined when I was younger. All the doubt I had thrown at me, all the time I invested. I sit and read my old lyric books like damn, it must have been destined.
Like you come back later and realize, wow, I've done it myself. I was always good.
Now I got them on side, confidence rises, there ain't no stopping me, I'm unstoppable. Got a strong head on my shoulders and being good hearted don't cost it all. Times I thought I had lost it all when I ain't even have shit to my name. Studio runs on foot, trekking through the rain, made me into what I became. That was a pivotal time, breaks my heart, it didn't work but we tried. Still I had never aborted the mission, all that I've taken is all God has given. When someone's talking to me then I listen, told me to follow my own intuition. Go with the pace, I set for myself, sometimes I sit and I wonder. I'm the version of me I always imagined when I was younger. All the albums I studied, learned about flow and cadence. I sit and listen to my old shit like damn, all it took was patience. Some get it, some don't. It didn't take you long to get here, but we keep pushing on. How did you believe you would get here?
Don't stop.
Oh, the piano in this.
Stuck in my ways, stubborn, I know it can't be changed. Living in isolation, attention I never crave. There go Little Simz from around the way. She wanted the credibility, never cared for fame. No receipts, can't return the gift I was sent. Everything I touch is felt with the purest intent. Conversations with you is causing resentment. Hard to accept the realness, she said. I've been loving you freely. Little misleading, misguided, misunderstood, misjudged. Little mistaken, heartbroken, that's basic mistrust. But there's a bigger picture God is painting. It's hard mixing family and business. I really wanted it to work and God is my witness.
The last lyric is being misunderstood. So there is this realization, I think, with this album already, right? Trying to fight back against the way the world is situated, especially with that first song or second song, it's talking about this conditioning, and really trying to talk about and discuss, like, this is from my perspective. There is a lot of like, I feel this way, I feel doubts probably because of this world, but at the same time I know who I am, I know better. Look at this, I've created this, and you know, this is the result, right? But at the end of the day, you're happy, also realizing you're misunderstood. You know, started this album too already talking about, you know, there being this middle place, especially with your ego. So wow. So thematically this is hitting the right notes. It's very tightly knit. very tightly knit. Love the instrumentation on this. I want to come back and really be in that energy, because there's nothing, like I was already saying, it seems very various. These songs feel like they're doing many different things, are giving me very different energies as well, but while still kind of staying in that same vibe. I really like the pacing of this album too. Not many albums, and I'm thinking just in 2021 itself, no album feels like it has this pacing. Okay, I'm gonna be excited to come back to this. First reaction score, I'm feeling like giving this anything below a 9 would be a disservice. Like, I was, throughout this album, I was thinking potentially I'd give this an 8.5, but this feels like a strong 9. Yeah, I love this. I'm going to come back to this a few more times, and I'll let you know how I feel. Okay, looky here, we're in a new area, and I've listened to this Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, Little Simz, a few more times. This is a 9 out of 10 still. At a certain point, I thought I was going to give this a 9.5. I think the only reason why I wouldn't is just the experience of listening to the album in the sense of pacing. This is a long album, 14 songs, yeah, but with the interludes, because I do feel like you feel the interludes. Is that a bad thing? No, because the interludes have depth to them. A 9 out of 10, whatever. I still love this. This is one of the best projects I've heard this year for sure. One thing I gotta give credit for is that there is a good variety. There is a good variety of sound, and that variety of sound is placed really well together, especially too when you got the big tracks at the start of this album is where the orchestral work is really working on. You have a little bit of that near the end, but it's a little bit more chill and lighter. The themes on this album, just on a social context, and even that being applied to her life, works really well on this album. I wouldn't say every song has to be as conscious as the next, but regardless, even with a theme, like something like Protect My Energy, definitely not as in-depth consciously as something like Woman or Introvert, but it gets the job done, and it is, it's fucking really good, really good. And I think Protect My Energy, actually, isn't that right after Rollin Stone? Very good contrast there with what they're both saying. Try this out most definitely. I don't know, I definitely think this is just a wee bit better than Gray Area. Just a wee bit better. On a grand scale, it's definitely got a bigger, bolder idea, but I don't think that makes me love it more. That just makes me go, wow, you really struck out on something original, really pushing for an extension onto your identity that we've gotten from past albums. And I think this even just shows that Little Simz really is going to be remembered. She really is. And this is the beginning. Like, I think this album and what this album is going to mean 5 years from now is going to be much different from its release now. And, you know, Little Simz, you know, her career is not over. I feel like it's just going to be beginning. So this is exciting. This is exciting. I'm glad I have this. If there's anything else you want to see me react to, anything at all, put a comment down below. And thank you for watching. Peace.